Where is it?
Holy.
Hello everybody, you're probably enjoying my Star Wars retrospective reviews. Before I talk about, the other movies,
Hey guys,
we're going to talk about
Hello.
Alien Covenant. And, my name's friend Shri, and we have a surprise guest on the show.
Hey!
His name is Cooper!
Yep.
Also known as Dr. Victoria.
Yep, Dr.
Sly
Victoria.
Cooper, right there.
Yep, so we...
Sly Cooper, man.
Oh yeah, that's right, Sly Cooper. We saw Alien Covenant. Now, something you have to understand, this movie takes place after the events of Prometheus, but before the original Alien.
A sequel to the prequel.
It's pretty good, not bad.
Now, if you don't know the Alien series, I've only seen the original Alien, which is basically a slasher movie set in outer space.
And I've seen the original 3.
Yeah,
I think I only
Aliens
saw
was
some
like,
of them.
Aliens
And
brought the
Prometheus.
action genre into
I've seen
the mix.
Prometheus, of course.
Yes.
That.
Alien 3 and then Alien Resurrection. Anyway, so we're not counting the Alien vs. Predator series because those don't count as
Yeah,
canon.
they're not canon.
Alright, so the storyline of Alien Covenant basically takes place about 10 years after the events of Prometheus, which Prometheus I did enjoy, but I felt like it opened the door for a lot of things, and this movie kind of answered them, kind of answered the questions.
Well, that depends on how
Take
deep
it
you
in.
think.
My thinking is how the species came to be, the xenomorphs, how they came to be, why, how do they
scene
keep
was cool,
respawning over and over again. Basically, it takes place in the year 2104, where there's a new crew of ordinary people led by Chris, who has become the new captain of a ship, Covenant, after the captain died in an accident aboard the ship. They're trying to head to a planet known as Origai 6.
I think it's Origai.
Origai, yeah.
Yeah.
But they hear a weird signal, and the whole thing basically starts all over
It's
again.
like a
where
code sound.
They hear a transmission that
Interference.
sounds like the John Denver song "Take Me Home, Country Roads."
Country roads, take me home to the place I belong.
So they head to the planet and they discover. Actually, I was very surprised at what they did. See, you remember the original movie, like the xenomorphs, they were on this unknown planet, but they're the face huggers. Once they clean out of your face, they put one of their babies inside you, and they burst out of your chest.
Hold on, wait. There's actually a picture that you can find online, which is the anatomy of the facehugger, and it shows how they lay the eggs in you.
Ew.
They clean inside you, and then they burst out of your chest. Well, these
That was cool.
we
Yeah, they
actually
die, yeah.
do see the xenomorphs near the beginning of the third act, and when we see that, it's like, okay, cool. We're now noticing
The alien
how
was
the
amazing,
aliens,
by the way.
That
Or
was
more
pretty
like
cool.
a subspecies, as I put
Yeah,
it.
the
Because
alien
these
was so cool.
subspecies, they're like little ball
White.
like ball things. They're like really soft. If you smush them, the particles, DNA or something, fly up in the air.
Those
and,
are like
and then they
great
wax.
it's like pollen.
Yeah,
No,
they're like
those are
pollen.
not- like when you I know what those are. They're actually like things like to produce more aliens. Mostly, if you
Yeah, but they're so small, they're like pollen.
sorry,
Yeah.
if
Which
you,
is what
They-
plants
that's
use
how
to
it
produce.
creates babies.
Yeah, you
Exactly.
step on one of them, you squish it or something. They crush like an egg, and then they release the particles inside your ear or through your nose or something.
Yeah.
The
and
pods kind of look like a pomegranate.
They basically what they do is they get you really sick inside, and then they basically hatch an alien right out of you. And that happens twice in the movie, and I thought, this is actually not a bad idea.
The first time we get to see the new alien come out of that
Oh
one
my
guy.
god.
That was so creepy.
AKA the worst ER trip ever.
I saw in the sex scene.
The worst
My God.
ever.
And to tell you some-
Stories of the ER, sci-fi edition.
to tell you something, in the sex scene, I swear to God, they're both having sex, and the alien like shut the thing in his head like, oh, no
If it
one
was
does
sex,
that
if
in
it
the
was
movie.
sex,
I
it
thought
would
that
have
was-
been more. It would have been more intense. Trust me.
There are two groups of people. There's the group that go down to the planet and discover this planet that kind of looks like Earth, and we actually do see the circular half-circle ship from Prometheus. Apparently,
That was pretty cool.
we've been here before. And I thought that was a little bit strange because I'm like, okay, wasn't the planet in Prometheus like it had a little like
You know,
an underground facility where the bald head guy, alien,
And
yeah,
for
You
those
know
of
the
you-
Prometheus, the ship crashed in the thing?
Mhm.
That's the ship.
we were here before, and we know this because we see Elizabeth Shaw's name tag and a transmission of her from years ago.
And,
And
like,
keep in
the
mind, this
suits.
is 10 years after Prometheus, and supposedly the we kind of get an understanding as to why these things happen, but not entirely. If anything, we notice subtle things in the script, like the Prometheus was carrying a device that wiped out the population.
Basically,
or something.
it was basically like the aliens' version of Pompeii.
Mhm.
How was
That's
it
the
writing?
only way I
What do
can
you think?
describe it.
How's the writing for you?
Writing was okay, but what I was really concerned about was the characters, because in Alien, they were not the crew of Nostromo was not high-tech geeks. No, they were just average working people
Yeah,
who
like,
were chosen to carry out a duty in space. But in Alien Covenant, it's the same thing, except the only difference is that in Alien, we got to know everybody, and every single one of them felt relatable. Here, I just kind of see discount Sigourney Weaver, discount.
And every character
it
was
just
getting mulched or getting
the,
killed.
the country guy who reminded me of Slim Pickens from Doctor Strangelove, and it was like.
Every character in this movie getting like mulched or just getting killed.
Well, wasn't that how it was like in the first two movies? Especially in the first one,
In the
because people were
original
getting
movie-
killed off in that one too.
In the original movie, we had time to get to know the characters.
Before they
In
get
the
mulched.
opening scene, we open with the opening scene sucks. Just by the way, the opening scene had David from Prometheus, played by Michael Fassbender again.
Okay.
He's meeting his father in this white room.
Oh, yeah.
That reminds me of
that whole thing
Assassin's
was
Creed a little bit.
Oh yeah,
And-
that scene.
And they're talking about pieces of art, and I'm like,
The
what does
creation.
this have to do with a story?
It was basically
It
like,
doesn't do
it was
anything.
it was setting David up as a villain because again, like he had like
But
that god.
we know
complex
that
of
David
creation.
was, but we know that David is already a robot and that he's already a villain. We already knew that.
Well, to me, it established his transition into that. I mean, I didn't know he was going to be a
Transition
villain.
from having him being a worse villain.
No, that's not what I'm trying to say.
Oh,
Because like, what sounds better, a villain without the stupid intro? Because like, wouldn't it have made a little more sense to have the intro and then all the stuff he was talking about earlier when he was in like his little shack area, which kind of looked like Yoda's place, to be honest.
Yes.
For him to be talking about the stuff like the whole creation stuff. Like,
I think it would have been
yeah.
better if you didn't make.
if you thought about it more, I'm sure it would have made more sense.
Yeah. I
Did you
probably didn't-
actually know that David
one
and the
thing-
other guy was just like they were like fighting to death? It was like a Star Wars battle right there.
Yeah, but then there was also
was really, like-
there was also Michael, who he is also played by Michael Fassbender.
Hold on,
who
wait.
he, Michael and David are related because we're both
They're
we're
both,
both
like, the same
robots. We're
model.
both
No, they're not the same.
we're not no they talk to each other like we're brothers. We're both they both have similar interests. And
But the other guy was actually fully upgraded.
yes,
The better one.
Michael was fully upgraded.
Which is why he was able to survive the fight, but we're gonna get to that in a little bit.
In a bit.
So we're gonna get back to okay. There was this. We go to the planet and everything goes down. We'll get back to that in a second. But there's something that looks like a situation right out of Pompeii, where we see tons of bodies everywhere. David was once a. I don't think anybody cares, but David was once some guy. I don't know what his position was, but
He was a robot too,
unleashed
right?
these like pods that looked like something out of Arrival, and the ships from Arrival.
That was
and,
like poison darts or whatever that was.
yeah, and they sort of spread like locusts all over the place
Killed
and
everybody.
wiped everybody. The problem I had with that scene was, okay, so you established that David was once this all-powerful guy who everybody, bowed down to him, and then he just killed them all.
Which is, by the way, the first.
What does yeah, that's cool that you established this backstory, but we never knew about. But
Also,
why was
David,
it?
you make a terrible god. If you do that to if you do that to a civilization that people like worship you now. He wanted to make room for the aliens though because he wanted to bring them back. He wanted to bring the xenomorphs back, and that's why he was breeding them.
Oh, yeah. Question. Why
He
did
wanted to make room for them. But then again,
why did he want to bring them back? That's one more question I don't know.
I think that's an answer that we'll just have to like come up with our own answer for later.
And that's cool that you set this up, but where's the payoff? Yeah, we learned that David basically killed Elizabeth Shaw, and okay.
Wait, she killed him?
Yeah, he did. He dissected her and like put the thing inside of her.
Well, why did he kill her? He killed
So
her?
he could breed the alien.
Oh wow, didn't notice that.
There is some raised stakes in this one, which was not found in Prometheus. Which, even though some of you may say, "Oh, well, this movie is just doing the same thing that this movie's doing the same thing that Prometheus did," a bunch of people.
said
I mean,
There
even the
were
original
similarities.
Film,
Don't
and even
don't
the
get us
original
wrong.
film, you know,
Yeah.
they answer a unknown signal, they get buried, they
Nobody
get
said he
killed,
loved
blah.
her.
But in
Yeah.
actuality,
No,
there
she-
I guess that well actually
there are some
There's a
differences, though. There is a difference
yeah
with this one.
there
Particularly
are
back-
similarities, but
Particularly that
ultimately-
neither Prometheus or the original Alien, which is amazing if you hadn't seen it, were not carrying about 1,000 embryos. They were carrying about 2,000 colonists on that ship, which made it a bigger deal for them to get to their destination.
which would have taken 6 years and 7 months. Wait,
It
no,
was 7 years.
and
It was
6
7
months.
years.
That's a lot.
But yeah, there are some differences here. Like we mentioned, the new aliens that go in your ear and all that. That I think.
Which looked which by the way, I need to say this right now. The design for these new aliens were killer.
They're bad.
Looked
Yes.
really cool.
Some
Like
of these
think an albino xenomorph. Get rid of like the large bulbous head and then make it into like a triangle shape.
The original
Yeah,
Alien was designed by H.R. Geiger.
who, if you don't know, is a artist who did mostly spray paint, and that he didn't really have an agenda when he painted things. He just kind of did it and let the art talk.
Yeah,
to him.
H.R.
haven't
Geiger
seen-
created the original Alien
Yeah.
design, and those designs are still in this movie, so that hasn't changed.
Yeah.
Well, what did change though was the different Alien designs. They reminded me a little bit of like, if you kind of took like, I don't know what to
The
compare it to. but
Dementors
just-
from it kind of now that
Yeah,
I'm looking
from Harry
at
Potter.
because like of the mouth
They look like
Yeah.
Dementors.
and
the Dementors from
Harry Potter.
only they didn't wear any shrouds.
One thing that I thought was kind of strange how is, since we're going for sci-fi horror, we might as well describe the movie. The movie's scares. They were actually pretty effective.
Yeah,
I will say.
there was
There
one
was-
that got us all. There was the scene.
There's
where
actually
the-
two that got us, and usually jump scares don't, flatter me. Partly because I know for a fact that there's gonna be a jump scare, but yeah, your nerves just jump up anyway because it's
It's a
kind of like.
response.
Yes, it's a natural reaction. But this time I thought, okay, are we going to do the false scare? And they didn't do that once, thank God. But,
Like
there's one
if they were gonna set up a scare, they were gonna do it, and that's
Yeah.
what they did.
Ridley Scott is usually pretty good at that kind of stuff. At least in terms of keeping people kind of, like, engaged, for the most part. Except A Good Year, that movie was just eh. But,
Actually,
the scares here were actually interesting. When we see
I liked them.
the first death we see, not in the beginning of the movie, but later on, it's very different from what I've seen before. The alien comes out of a guy's back.
Yeah,
And
as
I'm
he's
like-
convulsing violently.
I mean, it was just like,
Having a seizure.
that's what
Yeah.
convulsion is.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Well,
I mean, it was
well,
ju-
convulsions aren't seizures. They're when like your muscles.
I mean, I was
tense
just
up.
thinking
Oh,
like,
and you
okay, there's no way that somebody said, you know what, we've done the whole chest bursting scene a lot, so why don't we try something different? And they tried something different.
and it worked.
Yes, and then one of the aliens came out of a mouth, which I thought, okay,
Ew.
that's different.
But
I-
And then,
Gross.
but the chest bursting scene was still prominent in this movie.
Oh, but wow.
It was still here.
but then they did something weird with it.
Like,
when the alien came out of the chest, the alien just I know it was.
It was already fully formed when it came out, like, but
That's
it was
not
small.
the original alien. It's going against what the original alien was. It was just a little.
But keep in mind,
It just
David
kind of
was
stood
breeding
there.
them.
It just kind of.
And
it was
that
out
means
of.
he probably bred like the egg.
Yeah, but it
sacs.
bursted out of its chest, and it just
Stood up.
It just stood up right in front of David's
Like a
face.
person.
It just stood up. It just stood there.
Like a person.
And it was just hovering above. It was just weird. Toward the third act, when we actually do see the xenomorphs, and there's a real danger here. When we actually see the xenomorphs, and when the first alien gets destroyed, I'm not going to spoil too much, but let's just say
Things get bad.
yes,
Really bad.
Really fast. That's what I just
And also
said.
the characters, I didn't. We don't even know their names.
Yeah, I totally forgot their names already.
I remember one of them was Daniel, it's the Sigourney Weaver type. One of them was David and Mike, the two Michael
Short hair and
Fassbenders.
everything.
I do remember there's a guy named Tennessee who he's the only one who knew that the call was a take on "Take Me Home, Country Roads" the John Denver song. But the characters I don't remember them
I
because
forgot their names right away.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
I
I
think
forgot
partly
their names.
because of the fact for horror films, especially sci-fi horror films, you don't really care much about the
To
characters.
let you know, the
just kind of want to.
characters, we don't know much about them. They just, like, die.
We only know that the captain was a friend of Daniel's. We only know that, and he's the one that dies in the beginning. And it's like, great, you just killed off a character before we got to know him. Good job.
Well, that happened. Well, I remember something like that happening in The Walking Dead.
I never watched that show.
Okay, so for those of you who know what I'm talking about, you know which scene I'm talking about, but it's a scene in The Walking Dead where, like, the farm that they're on gets sieged by walkers, and there's this bus boy that's on the farm that like, like, drives the bus in and out.
Yeah.
We never got to know that. I never got to know that character, but he ended up getting eaten in it by the walkers anyway. Which made me upset because I would have liked to know him a little bit more. But then again, there's just some characters that are just like throwaway for horror films.
Yeah.
Like the guys that had sex in the shower.
Oh man.
Well, except they were kind of important characters.
Sort of.
Yeah,
I mean, I
but
didn't see that coming. I didn't even know he had a love interest, to be honest.
no, it just came out of nowhere.
Came out of the blue.
I think
And then
I think they were trying to get that
the
R-rating,
alien,
though.
the alien like comes up behind the
Open his
guy
mouth
and
and boing.
Yeah, and then the mouth comes
oh, and it gets
through.
worse after that. I'm not the type of person that gets sick over these things. I'm not
To
that
let
type.
you
Yeah,
know-
me neither.
I actually did thought that the movie was reasonably paced. Yeah, the beginning drags a little bit and doesn't make much sense, but once we get to the planet, it actually works to its advantage. You just gotta give this movie a pass on the first 15 minutes.
That's
It's
not
actually
bad.
not. It's not that bad. The first 15 minutes. I thought, to be fair, if they were gonna show similarities between Prometheus and Alien, then you could probably try that. But it's like, okay. The big thing that people want to know is, did it answer the questions that Prometheus left?
Did it?
Kind of.
Sort of.
Kind of.
It
Sort
did
of.
sort of explain.
It leaves more up to the viewer, in my opinion.
It sort of explains.
It has
where-
more open doors now than
Which is
before.
probably paving the way for, like, more to come. If you
To be
think
fair,
about it.
though, Ridley Scott does know his own Alien franchise. I mean, he directed the original, and
He knows a lot more
he did
than we
Prometheus too. So at least he knows.
This
He
is
knows
where-
Prometheus too.
It,
So
it
I
wasn't
guess-
like it wasn't like the Dark Crystal where Jim Henson didn't exactly know what he was doing on that one either.
Overall, don't believe the hype. Go watch this movie, but the only reason why I would recommend it,
To let you know, this
is if-
movie is not an epic fail. It's decent.
It's not. It's
I
by
would
no
see
means
I
not.
would see it on the big screen, but
Would you
don't
buy
be
it on Blu-ray?
don't be yes, I would actually. I have the whole
Because who
plot,
knows,
but
behind the scenes could reveal a lot more things that you never knew about.
overall, I give a movie like a 4 out of 5.
Four.
It's entertaining and it does a good. It has reasonably
You have any
paced.
nitpicks
But
on
I
the movie?
honestly wished that the characters could have been better and more memorable. The writing could have worked a little better. And
Any
on
nitpicks?
top of really, you're sex in the shower with an alien on
We
board
keep
the
coming
ship.
back to that.
I don't know why.
keep coming
We
back
keep
to
coming
that.
back to that.
I guess because it was so absurd.
It
That's so
was
stupid.
big wet alligator
It's like
moment.
it's like I want to know what love is.
I give it a 4, man.
A 4?
No, I mean 4 out of 5.
I rate movies out of 5
Oh, you do on this channel?
Yeah.
in
Oh,
general.
Because in my own opinion, I rate them out of 10. But
What would you give it?
I
Okay,
think
let's for your sake, let's do it out of 10. I
Okay,
say
fine. I'll do it at a 9.
all right,
I give it like a
8 out of 10.
No,
8.5 out of 10, maybe.
8. Yeah, it's fine.
8 or 9.
8 out of 10.
8 is fine.
8 out of 10.
I'm sorry. I tend to like all movies that I see for some strange reason.
Oh, that is.
It's kind of blind.
I used to do that.
But now that I'm more mature, I have gone to like.
I'll give this a movie
Yeah.
a good. Not amazing,
I
not
would buy-
great. Good.
I would buy it on Blu-ray. I have all of them anyways, so.
It's a good film.
Don't
I'm
be
not
He
so
saying
actually
it's
has them
great.
like right here.
Yeah, but don't be surprised if it doesn't answer all the questions from Prometheus.
But that's
Don't
where
be
you guys
surprised.
come in.
It's not a great film, but it's actually still a good film to watch.
Yeah.
With your friends and family, go crazy. But it's rated R. Go crazy with it.
Don't take your kids, please, for the love
You
of
probably
God.
Do not.
You'd be scarred.
Don't do what you did with Deadpool. Put my channel link in the description.
Oh yes, Dr. Victoria.
Right here.
Link is in the description below.
You want to watch my stuff?
I'm
He
gonna
has-
go Goba's link too. Go nuts.
Go watch his videos. He's cool.